Hello, this is Daniel Van, professionally known as Johnny Mac. Welcome to this edition of the Daniel Van Show of StreamYard, recorded as recording for the wrestling world as I see it on YouTube and Launchpad One. I was gonna share some thoughts I was having. So I was just thinking, what are some current trends? Because just even though I do always talk directly about the latest the latest episode and the topic that I've been talking about, even though I love to do that, sometimes you feel the need to try something new. So what I'm gonna do here right now is just say this. Ever since I could remember, when I would watch a pay per view on when I watched a pay per view on VHS when I was a kid from the video store, I would always just think to myself, I wonder if there's a way to watch the videos that led up to this video. And recently, as recent as 2 weeks ago, I think, or 4 weeks ago, I'm not sure. It was around WrestleMania 40 weekend when I saw they had a whole bunch of collections of just one match, which would be like the main event of WrestleMania. And it was like they did a collections of Hulk Hogan's WrestleMania 3 match or his um, match against Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5, I believe. Stone Cold Steve Austin against The Rock a couple of times at WrestleMania. That was a collection. And I just thought I'd share with y'all that as I finished talking about um, WrestleMania, what was it, 13, I believe, right here from 1997, and then I need to really finish part two of Monday Nitro versus Raw. Hmm. However, I just want to let y'all know that along with this staying as a long term, um, let me state that, along with this staying as long term segment talking about Raw versus Nitro, I just thought it would be nice in the middle of this whole thing to talk about some of the videos of the collections from the times from the 80s that I didn't get to watch because I was not born yet. So I just thought it would be I just thought it would be nice for y'all to know what I'm planning on doing in the future, and I just thought instead of doing the same old thing, and I was just saying I don't want to be stuck in a pattern. I don't want to be stuck in a routine. I don't want to be in what I believe we would call it stagnant. I don't want to be stagnant because when you're stagnant, that means there's no growth. So I want to grow and I want to learn more. And by doing things that I never thought I'd be able to do, it can help you understand more. So that's why I thought I'd announce this. And since I already have the Peacock app up, let me find where. Here it is. The My Stuff section. I know, like way down here somewhere they have. Hmm, okay, guess I'm gonna have to look for the collections. Could have sworn though that I had added. By the way, they brought up WrestleMania Rewind, which didn't last long. They they brought that up. They added that to the Peacock app also. Hmm. I know it's here somewhere. Not too long ago, I thought collections. That's what it is. Stone Cold versus The Rock collection. CM Punk versus John Cena collection. All of these are great collections if you're for looking to write or to do a podcast about some of the best rivalries in the history of the WWE. Those are great rivalries. For the collection I was really looking for were the WrestleMania collections, or the collections of what could be what I believe was called the um the entire um not much sure what it's called, to be honest with you. Hmm, here it is. The Road to WrestleMania collections. They had Road to WrestleMania 3 collection here. They had the episode from Saturday night's main event in 1987. Then they had the Wrestling Challenge episode. Um, Saturday night's main event, as many of y'all know or heard of or experienced yourselves, was it was not a week by week thing. It was ever so often because of the popularity of WrestleMania. So usually you would see it around either the beginning of the year or closer to the end of the year because of things like SummerSlam and Survivor Series and things of that nature. Here's one. It's one example right here. Um, Trying to find the collections again. They even have, yeah, the Road to WrestleMania 5 collection too. Of oh, okay, I think what I did was they're trying to find a way to add this to the my stuff section. I don't know if you can, but if they can keep the I can find this way I am now. I'm going to start with Road to WrestleMania 3. And the first one will be Saturday night's main event. As I'm thinking about it,
we gotta get ready for our family migration.
okay, are we? I put, can't take the sound off until the video starts for some reason. So sorry about that. If y'all can even hear this, I don't know if y'all can. Anyway, Saturday night's main event for 1987, January 3rd, I believe. I wanted to start this off. I'm trying to find out which part is a minute into. Okay, good. Okay, good. January 3rd, 1987. Let's go back for a second. By the way, for people who like collection videos, they even have a steel cage. Even have the steel cage collection series on here on the gauntlet match, ladder match, casket match, tables, ladders, and chairs match, last man standing match, a woman standing match, elimination chamber, I quit, extreme rules, ambulance, tables, Iron Man, Hell in a Cell, Battle Royal, and chairs. This is what I'll do too. I'll either talk about I'll start talking about collections, whether it's a match type or whether it's road to road to WrestleMania or feud series. I think these are all a great way to start to do a different mix it up. And I hope y'all don't mind me doing that. Right. I don't know why it's difficult to add these to add these to my stuff, but in any event, I was glad we could find it because because these are such great things to look at if you're like me and you either like to write or talk about it, then it makes it even more fun. So we just go up and first thing I'll talk about, I'll come on here and pre-record a video for YouTube letting y'all know what I'm going to talk about next. You know, outside of WrestleMania 13, I believe. What I got to do my best, try my best to do is to finish talking about what I noticed in the pictures is just like ECW came back, stars from ECW came back at some point during the telecast um, to answer Jerry Lawler's on WCW at one point. You see this in the picture on this episode of Nitro on Peacock. They have a picture of Kevin Nash about to powerbomb a true wrestling um, because the term legend and greatest of all time is so thrown around so often. I'll just say he's a true wrestling great. He comes from a wrestling family. Jimmy Golden, that's his name. As Bunkhouse Buck right here. Um, when they were not showing he and his tag team partner, whether it was Mike Enos or Dick Slater going against Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry and Carl Parker, which is actually not only was he Buck and Slater or Slater and Enos's promoter, he's also Jimmy Golden's real life cousin. And Colonel Parker's real name is actually Robert Fuller, Tennessee stud. And um, all I was going to say is, I don't know. It looked like a traditional for the NWO, a traditional assault, and just laying them out was just what the purpose was, nothing more. So let me just press play here. And Jane's talking about everything that happened to Dallas Page and his wife Kimberly the night before, but it was DDP who really got the brunt of it. Laid out with on the back of the head again with the spray with the NWO spray paint can, their spray paint can. Then torn his shirt off and they sprayed NWO on him, and they sprayed some graffiti, some of that black graffiti on Kimberly, or at least Miss Elizabeth did, and it's maybe even drawn the letters NWO on her. So as he's saying this, it's making Dallas more upset as time's going on. Dallas Ellis told him, "You want to step into the real world with me? No problem." But he said, "You're born to be I think he said white chalk," and he made it clear, yeah, verbally speaking, figuratively speaking, he was telling him, as far as he was concerned, by the time he's finished with him, gonna be figuratively drawing, gonna be figuratively chalk using a chalk to draw his body, and it's not a good thing to say. But the point is anytime you mess with a man and his family, it's never not a good idea. Even Gene said that that's a little strong. I think Savage I think Savage is there somewhere. DP's looking everywhere, and they finally show Savage and Miss Elizabeth by the officers of the city they're in. He claiming that because he's a superstar and an icon, DP needed to lower his voice when he talks to and about him. Claiming that what he did was a favor. He did it. He did Kimberly a favor. Not sure what else he said. Randy Savage is negotiating with them, with having a match with him, and he said, "Elizabeth, what do you think?" Don Dallas Page is telling him, "What have match is doing right here and now." I believe this is the classic way of playing mind games. He's running up. He's running. Doing everything he can to get to. He's usually when he climbs up the whatever that's called guardrail. It's usually because he likes being around the crowd. Now he's trying to get to Randy Savage. To quote Jim Ross, Randy Savage is running like a scalded dog, trying to get away from Dallas. That ended that part of the video I needed to see. Let's see. Raw Nitro videos right here almost even as far as the length goes. Let's see. This is March 17th, 1997. Um, so they just showed Shawn Michaels walking with his bag in a suit. and a suit pants and shoes. I don't really know. It's one of the reasons I do this podcast is because just like there were a lot of videos I didn't know if I could see as a kid from led up to WrestleMania. There were a lot of videos that I didn't see, episodes of Raw I didn't see, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to see them like this. So it's amazing all the things that happen after a while. There was one episode I remember thinking was recorded by my uncle in this house I'm recording in right now. And he misunderstood. He recorded the show that I'd already seen. It's been so long ago, I don't remember what it was, but I remember just thinking how it's amazing how sometimes you can watch a show you may not even know you're watching the show you wanted to know about. I think that's amazing. A lot of things I do remember, but it's what I remember mostly are things I've seen. And I may not necessarily remember the day I had or the school, how school was that day, but I remember what I saw at night. So really, I really just enjoy doing this, and I know sometimes I really don't know what days are gonna be like one day to the other. So that's why I don't have a schedule because I don't know how it is gonna be like. However, planning my playing my podcasts have gotten easier now that I've seen all these collections that I probably always wanted to see, but never thought I'd have the ability to. Okay, 15 seconds left before the advertisement ends. I feel like there's some type of technical difficulty, so I had to hit refresh. So let me hit the play button again. Music. Okay. They okay. Vader and what looks like to be mankind. Who? Yeah. No, it's many mankind and many Vader. Don't know what this is about, but it's interesting. I'd seen this as a teenager and as an early adult, but I didn't know they did this when I was a kid. Under Looks like the Undertaker was interrupting. I'm not sure who that is, but Christine Todd, I think, some type of some type of congresswoman it looked like, and they were saying in this video that they're big fans of the WWE. And matter of fact, right behind them is the symbol of the WWE, the banner of it. This is Continental Airlines. So it's obviously the governor was promoting WrestleMania. Um, Vader and could have been no, not Vader. Goldust and Menace and I'm not sure what his name is. It looked like a midget tag team partner, a midget luchador. The the side where the entrance ramp is. It's off of that, and you have perfect cross body across the mini Vader. I can never um watch a Goldust match from this era, but I don't think they did a lot of technical wrestling. I don't think they did a lot of wrestling that could be um ranked as a 1 star, 2 star, even a 3 star. So that I can't. So apologize to people who may have thought um, this could have been some of the best matches that Goldust had, but came out with that wig on and that robe on, the way he was presented at this time just makes it hard to watch him. They're asking Gorilla Monsoon here about. Sorry about that. Asking Gorilla Monsoon here about why he made the steel cage match for the World Heavyweight title. And he said that despite um, the Bret Hart complaining, being upset, he still thinks he rightly deserves a shot at the title. Gorilla Monsoon said, no matter how people feel about it, the match will still happen. Speaking of that, they were promoting or had after the interview, and the only thing I know about that match is that Shawn Michaels had just showed up in the building with his suit, with his gear, so to speak, with his bag and everything. All I really know is somehow when he, I don't even know why he came down to the ring, but somehow gets thrown into he gets picked up by Psycho Sid, and during the match, it's thrown in. I think it gets thrown into Bret Hart, and this is the cage match. this cage match itself is designed only to win by escaping. So of course this made Bret Hart more upset than he was before. But what I want to see is how they wrestled the match before it. Now, Bret Hart is a perfect example of how the journalists in pro wrestling rank matches. As a matter of fact, they show his picture on the Sports Store website when they talk about it. How technical wrestling ability and you know, say what you will. I personally thought I had seen better myself than him. As far as, but I'm not going to say that they're wrong because he is one of the greatest. But I didn't think he was so great that they put his picture more than anybody else. Let me put it that way. So we know that based off his ability, Bret Hart, if there's anybody in that match that made that match worth 4 or 5 stars, it was Bret Hart because of his. And sure enough, I was right. The steel cage match. I still believe it should have been the last match because of the importance of. Oh, I'm sorry. He came down to the ring. It wasn't time for the match yet. I think he just wanted to talk. Because usually, I think they set up the cage before they come down to the ring, and the cage isn't anywhere around. I think it's Kevin Kelly interviewing him. Bret Hart said that he appreciated the respect that was being shown by Gorilla Monsoon by being given this opportunity, and that he thinks with everything he's accomplished, he deserves respect around there, or to be shown respect. Um, the most honest thing to say about what he's saying right here, or really just promos themselves, is I really don't know if there is an actual rule book on cutting a promo, but I know one of the best ways of cutting a promo, depending on the circumstance, is to say your name 3 times before the end of the promo. And I believe that is the effect to make it more effective. Just say if they remember anything else, if they remember say who the name of the person talking, that's the most important thing. But if somebody's been around as long as Bret Hart, he does not need to say his name. They know who he is by looking at him. So that's the importance of really character development and really giving the audience everything, not only that you can give them as a wrestler or performer, because they even the same thing should go for the people that talk for the wrestlers, the managers, or whatever they want to be called. I think they should show that kind of effort to not in a selfish way, but in a just being smart. Should make the effort not only for people to remember them, but also people to remember the person they're talking for. Bret Hart said how he knows the Undertaker's upset about it, and he said was saying right here that it seems to him their the new motto in the WWE is "I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back, I'll stab yours," and I know exactly what he means. No matter how much you help someone, they end up crossing you. And Bret Hart already had that submission match with Steve Austin. Um, so if he won this title in the steel cage that this night, he would have had to defend it against Steve Austin in 6 nights. So it was looking back at it. I know how they do things now, but back then, I still think it was kind of risky for them to do this, knowing that most fans that most fans bought this. Most fans bought tickets to watch this so that they could watch a specific championship main event, and I know that anything could happen, but this was still a big risk by even making them think, hey, there's a possibility that a different main event can happen. And even as much as some people may have liked Bret Hart, they may not wanted to see him in the main event. They may have wanted to see the Undertaker in the main event because even though he had an undefeated streak at WrestleMania, being in the main event was something I don't think he had done up to that point. So that's why I think that no, that's why I know in my heart that was a big risk because this is the first time that he gets to main event an event that he's been undefeated at, and possibly uh, drag the carpet out from under him. You know, the minds of the fans. That's exactly what they could have felt. So that's why I think this was a big risk to even go this route with the booking. Bret Hart actually used the expression thrashing. He said that Steve Austin is in for the biggest thrashing of his life. He said everything. He's going to take all of the frustrations that's built up over the last few weeks or months by this time. He said won't even be able to shout loud enough, "I give in." And one of the biggest shows how important the right wrestler or opponent is with the right for the person you need to get to another level in their character, in their career, and character work. It also shows how the most important thing is not just the story, it's what's being done in the middle of it. He said he respects Ken Shamrock where he comes from, and hopes he's he hopes he's real close so he could hear it, so he can really hear the words "I quit" come out of Steve Austin's mouth. And about 4 months before this, close to 4 months before this, was when they had the first ever match against each other at Survivor Series, I believe, and it was in the famous Madison Square Garden. And this was in the time when they still did those dramatic, not maybe not dramatic, but they would take a set, they would take something that is really famous in the city they were in. And in this case, it was Madison Square Garden. So they took something that was really famous for either the arena or the city, and they made it a part of the entrance. And I thought, wow, why can't they do that now? And I think the reason they don't do that now is because of either using it so many times the fans get tired of it, or it's because they may get in trouble for things like that today with legalities and things of that nature. But what was the most interesting thing about this was him saying that the Undertaker, even though he would get his shot against him when he wins the title, if he wins the title this night, he to said he was gonna have to get in line because back of the line because we had to face Sunday. Then he said there's so many other people that are gonna have to prove themselves against him. They're they showed up something happening in the headquarters of Jim Ross. Right behind him was like a graph of TV ratings. Behind him was, I believe this was a marketing meeting. Behind him was a Bret Hart action figure. Not really sure who was on the left side of him. Jim Ross always wore that black hat. Always wore that black hat. So he said, the name of the game is hats, black hats. Then I want y'all to know if y'all think I'm mocking Jim Ross when I try to talk like him. I'm not mocking him. I like it when I think it's fun to try to see if you can sound like someone. That's why I do that. They call this a high-powered marketing meeting. All of a sudden, they have Vince McMahon talking about some type of toupee. For that, Jim Ross was talking about black hats as a good money maker in marketing. They showed Howard Finkel holding a box with his picture on it called "The World's Greatest Announcer," I think. So yeah, I guess that was supposed to be like an audio tape or something like that of his greatest announcements in the ring. Oh, that's what it is. Of all things, Vince McMahon was holding supposedly horsehair toupee and a headset all in one. And I got a couple of guys here, big fans. One of them was wearing Bret Hart's pink pair of Bret Hart's pink sunglasses. And one of them said, if you really want to know what works in marketing, it's these hockey jerseys that WrestleMania 13 is made out of. They're actually, and there was at this time medium, extra large, and extra large were worth $69.99 a piece plus shipping and handling. And they even have a black denim for $99. Also for WrestleMania, they showed. It said in those days, they accepted money orders and checks to pay for these. Send to WWF, or now it would have to be E-TV. And the address was P.O. Box 379, MT period Morris, Mount Morris, Illinois, 61054. Okay. Rocky Maivia, the Intercontinental Champion, first title reign. What's amazing is he was supposed to be a baby face, supposed to be clean cut, he's supposed to be like the classic baby face that his father was. I think his father was a classic baby face. But even in here you could see a little bit of The Rock's swagger, even right here, the way he carried himself. So that's interesting to see because he didn't have that attitude yet, but he still had the same charisma. He was shaking everybody's hand. He shook hands with Jim Ross and Vince McMahon as They're about to sit down, as he was about to sit down, join them. The Iron Chiefs bringing out the Sultan, which is going to be the which is going to be the challenger for Rocky Maivia heavyweight Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 13. His opponent weighed 272 pounds, and his name was Mike Bell. Okay, this obviously going to be a squash match of sorts, or just flat out a squash match. They have not actually, um, they had actually had an official finish to this, or if it was a finish, he directly got um, confrontation with Rocky. Whoa, it's a different kind of pile driver. But I always wondered how you can do a traditional, or should I say, a foundational pile driver and not hurt anyone when you can see how dangerous it looks. After he did that unique pile driver, he did a top rope splash, and then he went for the finish. So yeah, he won the match. Then he went to start a verbal confrontation with the Rock, or was verbal from the Iron Cheek, that is, towards Rocky Maivia. But yeah, this is there. He's calming him down, telling him, "Be careful." Okay. Already getting into an hour right here, so I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna have to do a three-parter right here. Thank you and goodbye.